So hello guys, I walked into a wonderful exhibition. Guys, remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. It's James here, the YouTuber, yes. So I'm in a parish and apparently there is an exhibit. So I'll just walk you through it as I try to understand it also. It's the title is this a problem of method. The journey to truth is an experience. So apparently he's called this priest who, from my understanding, is that he started. He was a seminarian teacher because no, let me just from his journey. He was born October 15th at Luigi Giovanni. Vizino was born in Disiego, a small town in Brianza, north of Milan, to parents Angelina Jose and Beniamino Husani. Begins elementary school in 1933. Enters the diocesan seminary at St. Peter Martyr in Segono. The 7 moves to seminary of Benego. The 9 forms a group with several seminary friends, calling it Stadium Christi. He is ordained a priest in 1945 cardinal. Continues his licenses in theological teaching in the Mena Seminary of Seveno. In autumn, he begins pastoral work in parish on the outskirts of Milan, which he later has to give up due to severe respiratory disease. The 1946 begins the long periods of recovery which lasts until 1949. 1950, having gained his health, he returns to teaching in the seminary and spends weekends doing pastoral work in parish Milan. Then 1951 occasionally meets with high school students, inspire a growing desire to dedicate his life to educating young people. 1954 continues his doctorate in theology with a thesis on Reinhold Niebuhr's understanding of the Christian meaning of man. He begins to teaching religion at the Budget High School in Milan. So 1955 appointed a priest involved in the missionary city initiated by Archbishop Montini Guidi. He renews its indication of purpose. He also involves CS students in activity aimed at educating them to charity. In 1958 forms a group around Guisini, the heart of which would later mature into the Memorias Domini, an association of consecrated lay faithful who live in community. In 1960, his first visit to Brazil. Then the sixth begins teaching introduction to theology at the Catholic University of Sacred Heart in Milan. The 1965 spends the summer in the United States to study the formation of organization of various parish activities. Upon returning to Italy, he leaves the leadership science emergence of the crisis. The 1967 leaves his teaching post at the Benin High School. In the months marked by student protests throughout Italy, he lays the groundwork for several new what later would become the movement, and then communal liberation appears. Wow, so it's actually quite a long story, guys. Let me try to do the groundwork. I've had just a brief video actually about him. Was this priest noticed that one day he was traveling on a train, notices that, oh my goodness, people are losing the touch of faith and would love to renew them, but in a way that relates to them. Because I know it's very easy for us to blame others, say people are not understanding, but could it be because also people are not getting the message as it is? Personally, like, is a gap I feel also exists even in our today's world. A gap that you need to educate people in a way that they can understand the faith. Okay, so let me try and rush quickly into this. Then, actually, I don't know. Let me see what time it is. Oh no, there's some minutes. So, participate in the equip of the leadership of CL University students. Then, point that is 1976, 1979. Journalists. So 1979 is distributed by John Paul II. March 1st. That is the first audience with John Paul II. 1921 memories. Dominion is recognized by the Bishop of Piazza, Bishop Enrique. 1982, Pontifical Council of Italy officially recognizes the Fraternity of Communion and Liberation of Guisini as the founder and president for life. Is named as Monsignor by John Paul II. 1984 leads the CL community in pilgrimage to Rome for an audience with John Paul II, marking the 10th anniversary of the birth of the movement. Then 1985 participated in the meeting in Avila, Spain with the Cultural Association. And then 1986 was the priest of makes a pilgrimage to the Holy Land. 1987 speaks to the Assembly of the Christian Democratic Party of Lebanon. Then 1988 the Memoirs Dominial, recognized by the Holy See as a private in Basel, a creation association with Guisini as the founder of the President for Life. 1990 begins a path of discernment, the group of individuals that would become the Fraternity of St. Joseph, an association of consecrated lay people. 1991 ends his time teaching at the Catholic University Milan, having reached the mandatory retirement age. 1992 leads pilgrimage to Lourdes, 10th anniversary. In 1993, Holy See recognizes the congregation of the Sisters of Charity of Assumption, branch of an order to which that was connected since 1950, begins directing the new book of the Christ Preach. 1995 begins publishing articles in secular newspaper in Italy, including And guys, and I think this is actually a very good thing. Begin publishing articles in the secular newspaper, because I think a challenge we have is that we try to preach to the converted, and trust me, if you want to reach more people, go to where they are. That has been a thing, and I think Madada has also in some point said it, because I think you look at the messaging that we have in today in the world, even in the churches, it's just targeted for the people there. But how can we reach other people there? And I think you reach people by going to their level. Yes, the call of Matthew. Jesus did not call Matthew in a church. He went to call Matthew in the booth of a tax collector. And he went to that house and was accused of being the listeners. To date, that was extremely controversial in his time. But are we willing to be controversial in our time today as Christians? Are we willing to take that path of controversy? Or we just want to stay in that comfort zone and not try to embrace people as they come along? Jesus embraced tax collectors at the time. Who are the tax collectors about today's world? A question for another day. So 1987 begins direct music collection. 1998 gives an address to St. Peter's Square during the meeting of John Paul II with the creation movement. 2002 received long letter signed by John Paul II on occasion of the 20th anniversary of the political push of the fraternity. 2003 the accusation of the funeral of the members of the Italian military killed in the Nazi bombing, especially during the evening news of the public Italian TV station. 2004, for the 50th anniversary of the birth of the movement, he sent his last letter to John Paul II, received permission from the Archbishop of Madrid for Father John Cuno to move to Milan to collaborate with him in guiding CL movement, writes his last letter to the entire CL movement on the occasion of the pilgrimage to Loreto, the anniversary, birth of the movement. This December, his health begins to decline. Then, February 2005, dies in his home in Milan. No mass is celebrated in Milan's cathedral. Then, perfect of the cognition of the doctrine of faith, Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, who would later become a pope. Representative of John Paul II, he also gives the homily. Gusin is buried in the mediocre section of the Milan monumental. Then his tomb is transferred to the separate chapel built for him in the same cemetery. On the 22nd, the head of the mass is celebrated in Milan Duomo on the 7th anniversary of his death. President of the fraternity, he has presented the request to open cause for beatification of and canonization of Monsignor Gisani. The request is accepted by the Archbishop of Milan. Okay, so that is timeline biography. So this is his a problem of method. My goodness, hear this. How can we reach the truth? This final question in the theme of the 2022 New York Encounter book, one of the pillars of Father Agustin's education approach. He often told his students at the Becher High School, I'm not here so that you can take my idea as your own. I'm here to teach you a true method that you can use to judge the things I will tell you. And what I have to tell you is the result of long experience of past that is 2000 years old. His ultimate goal was not to convince them of his truth, but to teach them a method, the world method, the Greek means path. Father Guesani believes that his task as an educator was to show his students the path, the truth. You see, the journey, I love this quote, the journey to truth is an experience. So in his writing, Father Guesani discusses at length how one can discover for himself or herself whether a proposal is true, especially a proposal that concerns the most profound and important human question. This can be summarized as follows: the journey to truth is an experience. Oh my goodness, the journey to truth. And remember, Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the light, the truth, and the light. The journey to truth is an experience. Oh my goodness, the journey to truth is an experience. So truth, literally, so truth is a destination. This journey requires a comparison between what we feel and our elemental experience. Guys, it's really wonderful. I'm really happy with that. So this is a powerful exhibition. So, what does Father Agostino mean by elemental experience? He describes it as a complex of needs and evidences which accompany us as we come face to face with all that exists. What are these needs? These needs can be given many names. For example, the need for happiness, the need for truth, for justice. They are like a spark igniting human gene. The needs are objective and universal. They constitute our heart. Then a complex of needs and evidence which accompanies us face to face. The need of goodness, justice, truth, and happiness constitutes man's ultimate identity, the profound energy. With people just and all this approach everything, enabling them to exchange not only things but also ideas and to transmit teachings to each other over the distance of centuries. He reminds me of this powerful saint. If I remember how I'll tell you. Then man is educated by experience, not by what he feels. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh, powerful. This thing hits straight to your soul. Man is educated by experience, not by what he feels. Father Agustin uses an example to explain how this comparison with the elemental experience works. A man is in love with a girl. This is a fact. That is a phenomenon. A young poet is passing by with his hands in his pocket, and he learns into this fact. This fact enters the horizon of his eyes, the domain of his knowledge. This is the beginning of the phenomenon, but it is not the whole thing. Facing this object, knowledge, The poet's eyes are burning with curiosity, with attraction, with approval, because he sees it in that phenomenon something that he also would like. But being only a 15 years old poet is not a for him. He feels a longing, he feels meaning that he relates with envy. Desire for that phenomenon. At this point, it's not an experience. Guys, I know I'm rambling, but I hope you can, because you can read it yourself. But I'm rambling, but it's really powerful. Guys, so you can see that message. So you can see the way it's beautiful, beautiful presentation. That is Our Lady, the statue of Our Lady. Guys, this is the old church in the parish. This is the Mabati church, but you have a new church now. So they have done this powerful exhibition. I'm loving it. So the work of reason. Oh my goodness. There's this powerful quotes that keep moving. Look at this. The summit of reason's conquest is the perception of an unknown, unreachable presence. It is the idea of mystery. So essential to experience this comparison between what man feels and his ultimate question is the fundamental work of reason. So guys, you can read it through yourself, but Father Agustino said, explains this with another example. Imagine the reason why a great mountain climber who scaled the highest summit on the globe, and once at the top realizes that the peak which he had just climbed was merely an infinite small foothill leading to an enormous mountain whose beginning cannot be seen. The summit of reason's consequence is the perception of an unknown, unreachable presence to which our human descent, because it depends on its idea of mystery. Then it is this relationship with that beyond which ensures adventure love here and now. Powerful quote, guys. Just to summarize, then for the Christian views, the subject of this sermon is what makes it. So in the mystery, so powerful concepts, guys. So it's Father Luigi Guasani. Yes. So his stories. See, in order to illustrate this sort of unattainable mystery, Father Guasino refers to the character of Odysseus in Dante's Divine Comedy, mental research for the attainable, going beyond the limit of the unknown world. Guys, something like I was saying is very interesting about him. He was able to reach out to people that would not otherwise have been reached by the church. Because I think the challenge we have even to date is how can you make faith relatable? How can you make faith real apart from just an abstract idea? Okay? Yes. So this is Our Lady here. This is a powerful. This is Our Lady St. Joseph. This is the church. So those are people trying to experience it, guys.
Come on. So, but even now we're trying to look for God, isn't it? All of our history, everybody is trying to look for God. But we need to look for God. And God has become one of us, has revealed himself, he is with us. Because he said, when two or three are gathered in my name, there I am. So God is not somewhere in heaven, I don't know where. He is with us here. At this moment that we are here. We are here because of that. And it's a fact in history, a present. So I give you an example. I was in the church before I used to go to church. But I met some people. One of them is the father of Consulat, for example. That made me that experience of God being here with us. So I met a person. I stopped imagining, God is in heaven, I have to read all the Bible, I have to be a good person, I have to do 1, 2, 3. I don't have to do all those things because it is not my effort. It is God who has become flesh, a man like me, lived like me, showed me how to live. And is he present today with me? Or he left me 1,000 years ago?
Okay, so it's a wonderful explanation. Yes, so I met the group, they also are going through these experiences. So these are powerful quotes. The realization of the existence of this supreme unknown upon which all history and the world depends is reasons pinnacle at its better. So God responds. So facing this unattainable mystery, man finds himself in a contiguous position. The realization of the experience of this supreme unknown upon which all history it's this on pinnacle and it's with God. It means that ideally a human being who fully is through capacities nature, his real life, his affection of the allele ought to be at the mercy of hanging on movement. No, this unreachable and distressable. Humanism leaves this dazzling condition. The explanation exists, but it's not with our grasp. It's there, but we do not know what it is. Well spoken saying is I will tell you my difficulty. Guys, I believe okay, actually you can read this statement for yourself, guys. Powerful. So liberation means the possibility of a real fact of historical event and presence within history. So the endpoint of human quest therefore is the hypothesis of liberation. So a total invasion of the religious method, then the man destination will no longer be based on human effort, instead it will mean coming up against some presence. No. Wow, the truth become flesh. These guys, they are powerful truths. Very powerful. Done with the exhibition. I hope I'm done with the exhibition.
Then,
coming after mass, we can still.
after mass, yes, we can do that tour.
Hello? So I finished the tour. Please,
You did it alone or?
yes, I did it alone, but I was really able to follow at some point. I started with the video and everything else.
Yes.
Yes. So and also taking a video because I'm also a YouTuber. So I made sure I'll capture this, but I'm not capturing you.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I finished. I was told I wanted like a book if you're able to buy or something.
So
Yeah.
outside, So there's this part also.
Oh, this one I didn't know.
Speaking about.
Speaking about. Oh, sorry.
Scriptures and
The teachings now.
the teaching, but also you can also hear Pope John Paul II speaking about him. So it's a short, I think 7 minutes. This is the last part of the video. So then here is a book kind of place where they are selling the book. So if you want a book, I can also give you this prayer because now it's in the process of becoming a saint.
Yeah.
So it's a prayer to Father Dusan, and then the contacts if you would like to follow the community.
I've loved follow them. So what do you explain? Like, you can explain to my viewers what does it mean? Like, if they want to become a saint, like, what is the process now? Is it long for him? How long will it take?
I think it's
But
quite long.
Yeah. And like, explain to him in a nutshell who he is, the priest is, who he was in a nutshell.
Father Dusan is a priest that was born in Italy in 1922.
Yes.
He's just like any other priest, but he joined the seminary at the age of 10 years old.
Yeah.
And then after joining the seminary, he became a priest after 10 years.
Yes.
And he was assigned to be a lecturer in the University of Milan.
Yeah.
And the university one day was meant to be tour in the morning in a train, and then he found next to him there was some young students that were speaking against the church, evil against the church. And in that moment, it was like for him, he felt that these students were not speaking out of malice, but out of ignorance. And then, so he decided, actually in that moment, he kind of understood what it was called, because the vocation is to become a priest, but it's not yet. So he decided to leave the job of teaching at the university to go and stay with the young people to try and communicate faith in a way that they could understand, in a way that relates to them. Because these people were speaking about against the church, because during this period there's a lot of communism whereby the church is considered as if it doesn't exist there. But then through staying with these high school students, actually he chose to go to a public school, which was periphery. And staying with these young students, they formed a movement called Gioventù Studenti. In Italian is like young students. That has now been became also grew for adult people and some communities of St. Charles Borromeo who are priests here, the sisters that you see around, and also some other lay groups who was born out of this. And the movement is currently in more than 90 countries around the world, in all the continents around the world. So it's really something quite beautiful because it helps us to judge what we are doing, our job, our families, our friendships. To ask ourselves, but what do they have to do with my life? what is the connection between my work and my destiny? And the answer is found within the experience lived, because Yusani says that we've been given original experiences, which is the need for happiness. Like, for example, when you see someone who is sick or someone who is suffering, immediately you feel for them, because already you have this desire to be loved, to have some friends around you. The desire for justice, when you see someone is doing wrong to another person, these are already things that are within. So in a nutshell, this is what Islam makes us to judge between these evidences with what we feel. Like, for example, we wake up in the morning and we want to go to work or not. It's easier not to go to work, but then it's against these desires because we want to have a fulfilled life. And now he speaks about reason. So I think you've done the whole journey, because the comparison between what's already given to us when we were born with what we feel or what we encounter is through the help of reason. And reason is this need to try to understand everything in totality. So I think I'll take you through the whole exhibition that I explained, but basically that's the moment of evaluation. So we meet for a weekly catechesis, which is more of reading texts of Father Yusani, and try to judge with our lives how we live our lives, the experiences that we encounter each and every day, and we try to understand them with also the help of our friends. Because Yusani always said that I'm not here to give you my ideas to be yours, but I'm here to teach you a method to judge what I tell you if it's true for you. So you can only judge because already in our hearts it's inscribed this desire for happiness, for love, for truth with what you are told. So you have to do the work of comparison. But is it true for me? So yes.
Hey guys, powerful! Oh my goodness! Wow, thank you, thank you so much.
Okay.
Guys, I actually
So if you want to follow us, for me, I think it's something quite useful for my life.
Yeah.
And I would want for any other person in the world to really live this, because it's incredible.
Yeah. Okay. I'd really love to follow it. So thank you. So I think my final stage that I've left with is that video. But then what next now for me?
So you have the books.
Yeah.
You can get the books. You can get the contacts.
So guys, now I'm heading to Mass. I've finished the exhibition. It's a wonderful exhibition. So come and I mean he's called, let me see, for the Luigi Gusani. Oh my goodness. See the people living in church, and captures everything I've ever wished, and I've literally captures everything I've ever wished for. And I like it, guys. So remember to subscribe, guys, and I love you. Bye.